My favorite form of prayer is through music. I was first introduced to this probably freshman year. Really wasn't aware that you could pray through music, but listening to all different kinds of music, so I was able to find specific songs that I'd be able to pray through, and we do it in ethics class all the time, so I really like that form.
At Viator, I think a way that I've learned to devote myself in prayer is not just a formal sit down, a sign of the cross and dear God, but it's really just trying to include God in everything I do and like just keeping Him in mind, like as simple as that, and just including Him in every part of my life and not just setting aside time for Him, but like making all my time for Him.
Every night I try to make time in my day to just talk to God, whether it be more formal, like an Our Father or a Hail Mary, or just talking about my feelings and how my day went. I like to just talk to God in that so He can listen and so I can get a response from Him as well.
Whenever I pray, I first start in Polish, and then I end in English, just to thank God that I'm a part of these two wonderful cultures.
My favorite form of prayer is probably ones that involve the whole community, like clapping or singing together, rather than just sitting down and listening to a single person.
My favorite form of prayer is probably contemplative prayer because it lets me let go of everything in the world and I just kind of sit there and let God talk to me, and nothing like really is in my mind. I literally forget about everything, all the stresses of school and activities, and I just focus on talking to God or letting God talk to me.
In prayer, I seek guidance. In high school, it's hard because our visions can become skewed and we can get on like a bad path. But prayer helps get a clear vision of what you want and what God knows is best for you.
I seek to thank God just for everything He's given us. A lot of the time we don't take the time to stop and just thank God for all we have. We don't realize how blessed we are being able to go to this school and have a house over our head, great family, great friends. So a lot of the time I just seek to thank Him for everything He's given me.
I seek guidance and I seek comfort in God, and I seek the knowledge to know that God is the most important thing in my life and the thing that I need to center my life around.
Something I've learned at Viator, and particularly on Kairos, is in prayer I'm not seeking just to be listened to, for my needs to be met. I want to hear God speaking back to me. I want prayer to be a two-way street where I'm listening to what God has to say to me just as much as I want Him to listen to what I have to say to Him.
Sometimes I find myself just rushing to do what I need to do every day, and sometimes I do need to find that time, and I struggle to find that time every day to devote to God.
It's especially hard being a high school student. Even though we pray during the day, it's not the same kind of prayer that all of us want. Many of us want to just talk to God, where we don't get that during class. Usually we just do formal prayers.
I think the most difficult thing about devoting myself to prayer is sometimes I don't know what to pray about. And like you always feel like, oh, I have to pray the Our Father, I have to pray this or that, or I have to pray for someone. And sometimes it's just hard to devote yourself to one thing. And so like now recently I feel like I've learned, like with like just letting go and letting God talk to me, that you don't always have to be focusing on something to talk to God.
Through faith, I've been able to make the transition when I was younger from like middle school to high school, and then later on it'll help me through high school to college, because it's big transitions and it's hard, like finding friends and finding your niche.
During my sophomore year, my mom had stage 4 breast cancer and my cousin passed within the same month, so I was really able to turn to prayer, to really escape reality of what was going on right at the time in my life. So prayer gave me a sense of normalcy in a time where I was very troubled at what was going on outside and things I couldn't control.
So after the 4 years of VITER, I found that through all the faith classes, it has taught me how to pray and what to look for in prayer, not to just ask for stuff, not to just pray the typical prayers, but to talk to God more in a casual manner, like he's my friend.
Well, freshman year, I came in and, just like probably mostly everybody came in and said, hey God, can you give me this, can you give me that? Why are you doing this? Now, I tend to have just simple conversations. I talk to them, what happened during the day, why did this happen, how can I make this better?
Well, freshman year, I actually came from a public school, so I wasn't that involved in my faith, but coming here I was able to, go through the motions through freshman and sophomore year, and I really took a leap of faith, jumping from sophomore year to junior year, I was able to find myself more. I was really able to focus during prayer. As a freshman, I kind of just went through the motions, not fully engaging myself, whereas now I find myself really connecting on a higher and deeper level with God.
In the future, I hope to strengthen my prayer life by looking for God in every situation and by using Him and His guidance to help me in life.
Prayer needs to be like all day, every day, like an inclusive part of my life instead of just something that I have to force myself to remember to do. So in the future, I plan on just making it like second nature and not having to remind myself to do some things. Just making like God, praying to God, talking to Him, something that I do without even having to think about it.
I'll use prayer to make a difference just by starting small, each and every day when I wake up, talk to God. Basically just challenge myself each and every day to be the best person I can be, and basically by starting small it might lead into something much bigger.
I think prayer involves praying not just for yourself, but for everyone. The mystery of faith is loving everybody and respecting everybody, and it can be achieved through prayer in that you pray not just for you and your loved ones, but for your enemies as well.
Probably just praying to God and letting Him take over and let me know what He wants me to do with my life and how I can use God in my future endeavors and continue to make Him a part of my life.
If you could describe prayer in one word, what would it be?
Witness.
Fulfilling.
Natural.
Calming.
Comforting.
Enlightening.
Refreshing.
Conversation.
Friendship.